what's your issue with the title?
My issue, Jesus is God, Allah is not. My issue is that what Jesus says is detrimental to the world. His prophecies has made the world a dangerous place. But Allah says that all those disasters, that hell, heaven, everything is afterlife. Everyone will die, they will resurrect, and he might uh, be burned in the hell forever. But it's afterlife. It's not here.
If it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. Come.
What the Jesus says causes conflict and war in the current world. But what Allah says, no, it doesn't bring any war here, but also it causes people to be righteous. In return, they will receive heaven afterlife. Or if they are not righteous, they will go to hell afterlife. But it doesn't directly cause conflict to the current world. But what Jesus said does.
Okay. So Jesus prophesying that the latter days will be consumed with wars and rumors of wars, pestilence, diseases, and all of those things that was detriment to society. Many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. Those teachings in his miniature eschatology in chapters 24 of Matthew, 13 of Mark, and 21 of Luke were detrimental to society. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, actually.
How was it? He said it to help you. And in verse 11 of chapter 24 of Matthew, he says, many false prophets shall arise and deceive many. He spoke that in reference to what's going to take place in between his advents. And
Okay,
if
this
you
is
had
another
and
problem.
if you had listened to him, you wouldn't be a Muslim right now.
Okay, you know what? No, I don't have problem. My problem is with Christian, with you. You suppose you interpret his word, his verses, that a false prophet will come. And you suppose, for example, Islam, you interpret that because at that time the book was not written after Islam. It was written long before Islam. But you as a Christian interpret the false prophet, the Islam to be the fulfillment of false prophet. This is another thing that is detrimental to the world. Anyone can make any interpretation about his words. So, even himself, suppose that himself will come in the future. Yourself or too many others might suppose himself to be false prophet. This is the problem.
Did Jesus
Directly,
did Jesus say he was going to return in the Gospels?
yes, in the
Okay,
book
so
of Revelation.
that's detrimental to society.
I'm saying that you and too many Christians might suppose him if he come. The reason that he does not come is that some people might suppose him to be the false prophet. Is one of the reasons that he has not
Okay,
come after
but
2000 years.
it's not just that verse, bro. It's actually that context. When you go 3 verses later, in verse 14, he emphatically states, and this gospel of the kingdom, right, shall be proclaimed as a testimony to all nations around the world, and then the end will come. Jesus let you know that the final message was the gospel of the kingdom, not something that came 6 centuries later by some guy named Muhammad. It's crystal clear that the reason why you have a problem with prophecy is because if you obeyed it and you believed it, you could not be a Muslim. And that's one of the arguments that I've made for years, is that the reason why you're a Muslim is because you don't believe in all that the prophets have spoken, as Jesus taught in Luke 24:25. But that's why we're Christians, right? So It is an impossibility, and you're proving it right now, for you to believe in all that the prophets have spoken and be a Muslim. They're diametrically opposed. Your belief in all the prophets would restrict your belief in Islam, because you would know that there is no message that came after the gospel of the kingdom, and that Jesus, according to his prophetic referent Daniel 9:24, is the seal of the prophets. Right? All vision and prophet were sealed with him. Any prophets that come after him are sent by him, Jesus, as he taught in 23:34 of Matthew. Behold, I send unto you Nevi'im, Hakamim, Vesopharim, prophets, right? Wise men, scribes. Was Muhammad sent by Jesus? Jesus also says in Matthew 28:18, behold, all power and authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Where did Muhammad get his authority for his prophethood? The only way he would have had any authority as a prophet if it was given to Jesus, because he is the beholder of all authority and power. The Greek is exousia. You failed to listen to the Messiah, and that's why you ended up becoming a Muslim. If you deny the truth, which is Jesus, chapter 14, verse 6 of John, then the only thing you have recourse to is a lie. And you bought into it because you didn't listen to God. And he says in Amos chapter 3, verse 7, behold, surely Yahweh does nothing unless he first reveals his secret unto his servants, the prophets. But those prophets are the ones that you say revealed things to humanity and wrote them down that are detrimental to society. I think you need to rethink your position.
If it be thou, bid me come unto thee on the water. Come.
What I like to do is I like to study and critique what the religion itself says outside of what people do, whether they're good or bad. So, and what I'm saying is that when you look at what the Quran says or what the Hadiths teach, you see that there are a lot of problems with Islam. It's not a religion of like love and peace. It's not a religion that I would even say that ups Jesus. It degrades him. It says he's not the son of God. It says that, a lot of degrading stuff about him when that's not who he really was. He was more than that.